Well, hello there, and welcome back to this episode. Today, we're talking about wealth and abundance. If you're looking to bring more financial abundance into your life, then don't miss out on this episode. Welcome to Feng Shui Living, the podcast designed for busy women who want to de stress, live with intention, and create a home that truly supports their well being. Each week, I'll bring you practical tips, insightful ideas, and simple strategies to enhance both your home and your life. Let's get started. Well, hi there. Welcome back to the podcast. Welcome to Feng Shui Living. I am your host, Lisa Morton, and I'm so happy to be here. And I have some fun news. If you are on Instagram, I now have an Instagram account. I didn't have one for the longest time, and I don't really know why, but I have one now. So go over to Instagram and follow me at Feng Shui Living Podcast. You'll get links there to all the episodes, bonus content, all kinds of great information. I also, really excited, have a podcast complimentary app. So in this app, you'll be able to take notes as you're listening. There's so much good stuff in this app. You can download that over at the Instagram page. Also, there's a link to the app, okay? Download it on your phone. It's just a really great added resource to store information, to get all the links to the podcast, both audio and video. So go check that out. If you guys have any questions, of course, reach out. Today, we're talking about wealth and abundance. I have a lot of clients that are like, yeah, I want to make $5 million this year. They're so excited, but it's important to slow down and be very intentional, because the more intentional and more slow we can go to prepare for wealth and abundance, I find it's easier, and the more we can enjoy it. We want to have wealth and abundance flow towards us so we can go with ease and really enjoy the things that come our way. So, how do we connect? How do we use Feng Shui to connect to wealth and abundance? Well, there's actually a specific area of your home that's connected to wealth and abundance. Now, we use a Feng Shui Bagua map, which is an ancient map that overlays the floor plan of your home. Using this map, I can decipher where different areas are. For example, you have an area connected to children and creativity. You have an area connected to your health. You have an area connected to your fame and your reputation, what people think of when they hear of you. Okay? Now, there's also this wealth and abundance area, and I'm going to teach you here in just a second how to find that. So when you find it, you can make so many amazing adjustments, very intentional, loving adjustments to bring alignment to your home, to bring in more wealth and abundance. Now, you might be like, how am I going to arrange my house and I'm going to make more money? But you wait and see. I have proof of my own life, right? I've been able to manifest some really amazing things in my life. And Feng Shui is so incredibly powerful. If you're questioning, if you have someone in your life that is like, I don't know about this Feng Shui, does it actually work? Go back and listen to my last episode where I share three questions that were submitted by listeners. And one of the questions was, what do I do if my partner doesn't believe in Feng Shui? And it's really, we get into kind of two different things. One is, number one, not bulldozing, and number two is feelings and of energy. Okay, so go listen to that if you have someone in your life that maybe is not on board. And here's the other thing: you're going to be doing some improvements, some adjustments to your home. And if nothing else, it's just going to feel nice and refreshed. So, using the Bagua map, we apply what's called the 3-gate method. Now, you don't need to worry about that, but what I want you to do is I want you to maybe, if you're not driving, if you're sitting down or somewhere you don't have to look, I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine that you just walked through your door. You just walked through your door, the door is closed behind you, and you're facing the rear of your home. Now, I want you to find the rear left corner of your home. Locate that area. that is your wealth and abundance area. Now, what's here? If it's a home office, that's great. If if it's a bathroom, we need to talk. Make sure you schedule a free 15-minute discovery call and let's explore that. There are definitely better areas to have here than others. But no matter what, you are not doomed. Remember, you are never doomed with Feng Shui. That's why we have adjustments or cures, as some people call them. I like adjustments because I don't like anything to feel wrong. It's just we can tweak and make things better. But this is why we have these things. We can make adjustments. You might also be totally missing this area, which is the case with an apartment that I recently looked at. I did a consult for someone in Miami, had this really cool apartment overlooking the water. I mean, really cool. But there was no wealth and abundance squaw. In an apartment, this can be really tricky to work with. If you are in a home with where you own or you have the surrounding property, there's a lot more we can do. So first of all, you want to make sure you have this energy center. And if you need help, reach out. I do offer a quick 1-hour consultation where we can just locate this and work on this and define it in your specific home. But now that you know where it is, how do you improve it? How do you bring good energy here? Well, let's talk first about wealth, right? So it's wealth, it's money, but it's also abundance. So keep in mind, this is more than just money. It's an abundance of things. This could be an abundance of money. It could be an abundance of shoes. I don't know, an abundance of whatever in your life. For example, I worked with a woman who had a playroom in their home in this area. And I told her, I'm like, here's the thing. If you want to keep this a playroom, that's okay. Just be prepared that the 5 toys that are in there are going to feel like 5,000 toys. Okay? Keep that in mind. So you located this area. Now, I want you to enhance it in a few ways. Number 1 is, of course, declutter and tidy. Declutter, remove anything that isn't supporting you or serving you at this time. Donate, recycle, toss. We want to make sure this area has free-flowing energy. We don't want it cluttered, filled with boxes, filled with storage, or things we just don't love. Make sure it's tidy and sparkling and beautiful, and you enjoy the colors. You enjoy the materials, the things on the wall. We want to make it feel really luxurious. We want to make it feel abundant, glamorous, maybe a glamorous carved mirror that is in a beautiful silver leaf finish or something really glamorous, really just decadent. How can you bring decadence into this area? You can also use the colors of red, blue, purple. We think purple and royalty, right? I love royal blue here. I worked with someone who didn't really care for purple, didn't care for red, and so we settled on blue, and she has the most beautiful royal blue sofa in her wealth and abundance area now. So bring these colors in. Make sure you love them. Make sure they represent something abundant and luxurious. You feel like royalty as you're sitting on that sofa with a purple throw pillow next to you. Okay. Also, plants. Plants are great. I love a jade plant. I love a peace lily. Anything with soft, rounded leaves here. Now, make sure the plant stays healthy. If you find the plant is getting droopy, sad, first off, before you try to just give up and toss it, a lot of people are like, Lisa, I don't have a green thumb. Well, sometimes a plant just doesn't want to be in that location. Sometimes it wants to be moved somewhere else in your house. So do this before you give up on the plant. Maybe relocate it and find something else. A soft fern, something really delicate, beautiful, and soft and happy, most of all, in this area. So for me, it is my laundry room. What's kind of funny is in this laundry room, it's tidy. I like it. I have some things to represent abundance in here, But what I find is hilarious is, if you know me, you know I have two giant breed dogs. We have two English Mastiffs. One weighs 180 pounds, the other one weighs 170. Yes, you can imagine our dog food bill, but we love them to pieces. But it's funny if you think about, that's where they eat their food, where their water bowl is, where any of their medication is stored, their food is stored, their toys, things like this, right? So it's funny if you think about, they just are abundance. They eat a lot, they go potty a lot, they everything is big sized with them. Even their treats are giant size compared to a little dog. So I can't help but giggle that they're connected to abundance in my home. But I try to keep things tidy, organized, and they just represent so much abundance and love and joy in our lives. So we love keeping that there. But it's funny when you start thinking about this area and how it's connected to your life. Remember to support and love on this area. So the home that was missing it had in its place a broken light fixture that didn't work. The glass was broken on it. The whole thing was just broken and not working. There was fencing that needed repair. It just was showing a lot of lack. So remember to love on this area, even if it extends beyond your home. Because what do you have to lose? Give it some love. I also had a client years ago who I won't ever forget. She asked me to come out to her home for a few different things, but one thing was her husband's business was struggling. And we walked around, we talked about a few things. And first off, he did not have a dedicated workspace. That can be a small little table. That doesn't have to be an office. That can be a designated space, but he didn't have much of a designated space. What he did have was one cabinet that was empty, so it kind of took it over and started shoving things in it. What was interesting was, in their wealth and abundance area was a cabinet that he took over. When you opened the cabinet door, all these random receipts flew out at me. Literally flew out at me. Showing things he spent money for. They weren't organized. They weren't tidy. It wasn't showing gratitude for. These are all my business expenses that then brought me more money, right? He wasn't making money in his business. And what the kicker was not only was it next to the washer and dryer, it wasn't really a tidy area, but the cabinets were directly above a garbage can. Think of the symbolism here. So I encourage them to remove this receipt storage area to make sense of it and get it organized, and then to move it to a proper office space, which they set up a small desk area in their sunroom. It makes so much more sense, and he's doing amazing. Sometimes it's small adjustments. When we really use those Feng Shui lenses, we can see what's happening in our space and the symbolism. So remember, show some luxury, show some care, keep it tidy, keep it sparkling. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, remember that we can feng shui the heck out of our space, but we also need to work on our personal energy regarding finances. Now, I know I've been there. I used to have this mantra in my head, and who knows where it came from, but you have to work hard. You have to work really hard and make money. You have to work hard. And it finally hit me one day. I was thinking, I'm like, no, why do I have to work so hard all the time? That's exhausting. Why can't I work smart? I'm going to work smart and find some ease. And when I started doing that, I found so much work that I loved, clients that I love, that I adore would come my way. And I got to work on amazing projects with these clients. And it was all through finding ease. It's less of that push, grind, hustle, and more ease. I had a quote that I love that I wanted to share with you. And it says, instead of asking Have I worked hard enough to rest? I started asking, have I rested enough to do my most meaningful work? I love that quote because I'm naturally kind of a workaholic. I love what I do. I love my work. Sometimes I can push a little too hard, and I have to remember when I can find that ease and that more feminine approach to my work and my energy and my life, everything flows so much easier, including wealth and abundance. Now, I want to share a little secret with you. If you find you're struggling with finances, I'm a big fan of EFT tapping, particularly Brad Yates. It's Yates. And you can go to YouTube and find Tap with Brad. And he leads you through EFT tapping exercises to clear these negative beliefs, thoughts regarding finances from your body. And he's so good because I've done a lot of work on this, but once in a while, something creeps in, a feeling, a memory, a thought that isn't supporting me, but it creeps in. And I do that EFT tapping and it works really well. Because there was years ago, I was not okay. I was doing my own invoicing at the time and my billing, and I would constantly shave $20 off, $10 off an invoice because I felt so guilty. I thought, I love my job. I'm so fortunate to get to do what I love every day. I just didn't feel deserving. And so I had to do a lot of work on this. And it still creeps in once in a while because I just absolutely love all my clients. I love all my work. So I pop over to Tap with Brad. So go check it out. If you check it out and love it, then let me know. He has all kinds of whole slew of tapping videos. It's definitely been a big support. But remember, find this location in your home, give it love, make it sparkle. And if you have any questions, reach out. I wish you so much amazing wealth and abundance in your life, friends. I'll see you at our next episode. Special thanks to our sponsor, Elevated Living School of Holistic Design and Feng Shui. For more information, head over to the show notes. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share this episode with a friend. We'll see you next time.